Okay, thank you for staying with us. If you're just tuning in, this is This Morning on ITV, Thursday morning edition. And quickly, we are going straight to the first segment on the show. We're looking at the 2023 election, security issues bedeviling the country, and of course, VIP protection. And we are being joined by two guests this morning. From my immediate left is Osareme Christian Omofoma. He is a political analyst. Good morning, Osareme Christian.
Nice to be here.
Okay, and from my immediate, from my extreme left is Reverend Sharif Azeke. He's a security expert. Welcome, Reverend Sharif.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Okay, let me just start with you, Reverend Sharif. Looking at the current security situation in the country, looking at the economy meltdown, looking at the social issues, and of course, the political issue that is just happening now. How will you rate our security architecture in the country?
Well, with the present situation on ground, I think we will not negate the fact that we have security challenges everywhere, north, east, south, west. And every day we hear news of insecurity, though the security personnel, I will not say they are not doing their best, they are trying, putting things together, but we still see the bombardment of insecurity everywhere. And this is giving us a kind of a little fear of the coming election. If care is not taken, if things are not well done, if the government does not really squarely address this monster bedeviling this country, we will not have it easy come 2023 election. I think we need to do everything because security is everybody's responsibility. It's not just the government issue. It's for everybody, and the government should bring security to the grassroots. You should not be handling security from the top. You should bring it to the grassroots and involve everybody. Everybody is a stakeholder to this problem we are having today. And if everybody comes to the round table, I'm going to see how everyone will be involved in this issue. I think to an extent, will go a long way solving insecurity.
Okay, let me come to you now, Sarame. Do you think the government of the day has actually met up with a security challenge of the nation?
Like the security challenge of the nation, the thing is, the challenges we face today are symptoms of what I'll call bad governance over the years.
Okay.
These are just symptoms of a poor infrastructure of the economy, lack of welfare in the state. When I mean state, I mean the Nigeria state as a whole. You know, security, what you're talking about mostly is physical security. You know, but there's food insecurity in Nigeria, which is even worse than the physical security threats we have. You know, if we can tackle the basic causes, you know, because when people don't have a source of livelihood, when people are not sure of their tomorrow, when people are not sure of, you know, the ability to take care of, meet their basic needs, primary health care, you know, basic needs of the human being. At the end of the day, this is what results to these symptoms we see. This is what results to when people go about kidnapping, threats to life, and all the other maladies that are ailing our societies today. So we need to start from what is the cause, what is the root cause, what is the difference between 30 years ago and say today? Why is this challenge is increasing by the day? What have we done wrong and what have we not done right? Okay. And so we have to look at all this as a wholesome package. You cannot just come and be talking about increase in armed robbery, increase to threat to life and all that. There's a reason, something is going on, there's an undertone. And so we need to look at the basic causes, you know, the root cause. How did we get here? You know, if we don't start that way, we wouldn't be treating the symptoms. Okay. Just like when you have malaria, you are treating headache, you are treating vomiting, you know. What is causing that? What is causing the fever? You have to get to the root cause. There's plasmodium till you get rid of the parasite itself, you are not doing anything.
Okay. All right, now we are not going far because we have Reverend Sharif Azeke. Now this is your field, Reverend. Now from what he has just said, where did you think we are missing it?
I think like what he said, addressing the issue from the grassroots. If you don't address a problem from the grassroots, you keep on addressing it again and again. I think when we talk about security, sometimes the average Nigerian will always look at the police,
Okay.
the gun, the uniform, and so on and so forth, or the uniform men. I think it's not about the gun, the uniform men. It's about approaching it from the grassroots. What are the causes? What are the factors that cause all this issue that has to do with insecurity? Number one, lack of education. When you look at the educational aspect of the whole thing, you discover that really a lot of Nigerians lack this aspect of it. Okay, look at of recent, people agitating for this issue of paying the lecturers half salary.
Yeah.
What will it take the government to pay them full salary? What will it won't take the government anything. If that issue is not addressed, before you know, it will escalate.
But the government is saying there's a provision of the law that said when you don't go to work, you're not entitled to payment.
And sometimes, if you are too rigid in certain things, it will cause insecurity.
Okay.
It won't take the government anything to settle this issue, just to avoid the coming issue that is ahead of us. Then we talk about unemployment. What is the government doing to address unemployment? We have a lot of people who are not employed, and they are roaming about. The idle's mind is the devil's workshop. You can't keep a man idle and you are not taking care of him. There are some countries where even though people are not employed, the government comes into the picture to assist them in one way or the other to make their mind busy. But here, we have unemployment, we have an issue of education, and the economical aspect of it is there. The economy is coming down every day. Things are becoming more expensive in the market. All these are factors that can contribute to form insecurity. If these things are not well addressed, we are going nowhere. We are going nowhere.
So, Osareme, now, can you now say we are now tracing it now to bad governance?
Of course, it is attributable to bad governance.
Okay.
Government has its duties. You as an individual have your duties and responsibilities to the society. When the government is failing in its primary duty of the Nigerian government, in fact any state, is to secure is for the welfare and protection of its people. We have a right to life.
That's
We
true.
have a right to our security. We have a right to go about our daily activities, knowing that we'll come back home at the end of the day. But how many people can say for sure that is guaranteed in Nigeria? Like he was talking about lecturers getting half salary now. It's something that beats me, something that I cannot wrap my mind around. I left this country 2007.
Okay.
Due to lecturer strikes and all that. I was lecturing in the University of Benin.
Wow.
Yes, and there was strikes going on. We're not well paid.
So
and
you
all
resigned
that.
and relocated?
Yeah, I left the
Okay.
country, and to my surprise, 2022, that's almost 16 years later, we are still talking about the same issues. So my question is, so have we not had a responsive government in the last 15, 16 years? Why is it that the issues that bedeviled the universities
It's still lingering.
2007, a lot of lecturers left then, 2006, 2007, people were leaving, Why is it that the same issues we are still talking about today? Lecturers just called off a 7-month strike. What responsible government will leave the core members of his societies at home, the students, the youths, we left them at home for 7 months.
About 8 months.
8 months, idle. There was no welfare, nothing provided to keep them busy, no infrastructure in place to make sure they are taken care of. They're home doing nothing. And we're complaining of insecurity. The idle mind is the devil's workshop. People take to all kinds of vices. The guys start doing what you call Yahoo, and whatever other vices in society.
Just to survive.
Just to survive. When you push a man to the wall, he has to find a way he turns back and faces you. So when a man is starved, when he doesn't have the basic, when his dignity of life is threatened, for sure he has to find a way to survive. Yes, I'm not condoning vices in the society. All I'm simply saying is the government is to blame squarely for the insecurity in Nigeria.
Okay.
If you look at, for example, when you don't have if you're out of your job, any modern society knows that sometimes you can be temporarily out of your work. And they provide a system, there's a welfare system in place to take care of you for a while, before you
Before
can
you
find
get on your
something.
feet again.
For Nigeria, no, there's nothing. That's even taking it too far. The very basic things, the building blocks of a society, we don't have them in place here. So I will blame the government squarely for the level of insecurity we have.
All right, we'll get back to you now. Reverend Sharif, no region in this country is virtually free from insurgency, terrorist attack, and killer headers and all that. Now, where do you think the security outlet need to strengthen? Which aspect do you think they need to tighten up their...
Addressing security issue is holistic.
Okay.
If you don't holistically address it, you'll be solving one problem, the other one will be coming up. Like when we say insecurity or security, our focus is always on insurgency, kidnapping, terrorism, and so on and so forth. But I want to say something. There is emergence of new breed of terrorists.
Okay.
It's not the terrorists that you found in the bush. They just terrorize people, take them, kidnap them, take them to the bush, demand for ransom, and just like this is a conventional way which we are used to. There's another one coming, which the government is not able to address. And this one will be more grievous than even the one we are even battling right now. I call it internet terrorists.
Okay.
It's a system that, if care is not taken, the government may not be able to handle it. Because these guys are not with guns. Their gun is in their brain. Like what he said.
It's happening already.
Yeah. Like what he said, you push a man to the wall without provision. What do you expect him to do? You keep him idle. What do you expect him to do? It is said the idle's mind is the devil's workshop. He will come up with something. And the Bible says, in the last days, knowledge shall increase. You can't stop it. The rate in which knowledge is increasing is something that is something very, very terrible.
So we're saying if knowledge is not used in the right direction.
When it's not used in the right way. These guys are coming up with internet fraud. They don't need your account number. They don't need your BVN. They know where to press and open the system. They just know how to manage this thing and wipe the old money in somebody's account. They are just in their room pressing at the end of the day. So these people, you can't manage them like the one you are doing in the forest. So government should do everything possible to put food, to make work available for them. Because if there's no work available, you cannot stop them from doing what they are doing.
Okay. Now talking about work being available, Mr. Raymond, the government keep releasing funds to the army, to the police, to ensure that they are well funded. And yet, we are still having pockets of attack in the nation. So do you think this money is being spent in the right direction?
Look, let's take a private enterprise, for example.
Okay.
If you run a company, you own a company, and you release money for something, it is the duty of his managers, you primarily, to make sure the money is utilized for what is intended for.
Okay.
And apart from making sure, you monitor and control. Apart from making sure it is bought, the equipments are bought, whatever you intended your money to be used for, the funds to be used for, you also control the usage of that product. Now, let's take it back to the government. If you say, for example, you have planned for 1 billion naira to be used for arms, it's in the budget, right? And this money, actually, budget is passed, is released to the army, for example, to procure ammunition. It is your duty to make sure those arms are bought. It is your duty to make sure the prices are not inflated. It's your duty to make sure it is up to the standard. It's exactly what is recommended, and that's the exact quality that is bought. And apart from buying the exact quality, it's your duty to make sure it is to control its usage, to make sure it is well utilized. Now, I'm not saying the federal government should go do that directly or interfere in the army's business directly, but whatever injustice is inside, there's a Ministry of Defense in this country,
That's
for God's
true.
sake. They should be able to monitor and see that these funds are well utilized. Now, when there's corruption in the whole echelon of government, from top to bottom, when everybody is looking for what will go into their pocket, then everybody will derelict their duty. People will not do the right thing. And again, this is what I keep saying, you know. You cannot fix symptoms of an ailing economy unless you look at the causes, the primary causes of these things. You know. Why is it that nobody wants to do his duty? Why is it that nobody wants to do the right thing? I keep telling people, we quick to lay blames in this country. People don't understand how things work. You have to make sure, you know, the right thing is done from the very top to the bottom. Otherwise, you find that there will be cracks all over the place.
But in a case where you now have people in authority showing interest in funds being released, at times before these things are being procured, you have those who now say they need to be settled. So how do we now balance the corruption that is also part of the system?
It's the same thing we are saying. Now, when you have such, right, okay, why do we elect government? Why do we elect people? It's to correct these ills. It's to correct these wrongs. You cannot say because people want kickbacks and kickfronts and all that. So if that's why things are not working. You know, there are provisions in the Constitution that make sure such people should be arrested and tried and sentenced accordingly. You know, why is the law not being enforced? You know, these are things we need to look at. These are things we need to think about. Because the three arms of government need to work together in this country. You know, the three arms need to make sure they're in synergy. If they're in synergy, if they are together, then we can tackle corruption effectively. You know.
Okay. Now, Reverend Sheriff, over time, we've seen security personnel being fingered in some of these terrorist activities. And some people are of the opinion that it's because you have a way of integrating some of these repented insurgents back into the system. So do you think that is true in a way?
Let me get the question clearly.
Now, in recent time, we've seen cases where military men are being fingered in some of these terrorist attacks. Okay. It could be that some of them are compromising. And some people are of the opinion that it's because we have a way of reintegrating these repentant insurgents back into the system. That could be the reason. Do you agree with that?
When you say the system, you're talking about the society.
Society.
Okay. Before you even integrate them into the society, you have to really work on them, because they what we call the criminal mind. When a man is a criminal, for him to come out from that realm it's not just easy.
So once a criminal, always a criminal.
They need to be rehabilitated very well before they are integrated into the society. But if that is not done, they will use the society as a kind of a platform to carry out their heinous activity. So the security personnel should do more on that aspect. That's what they do in other countries. They try to rehabilitate them very well, sensitize them, they work on their minds before they send them to the society. So that is that. Then in the area of insecurity, if you check very well, like what he said, the government has much to do, because the primary purpose of the government is to protect its citizens. That is the primary purpose. And when that purpose is being defeated, what is the essence of government? Look at our environment today. Look at our roads. You can't travel on our roads without this sense of fear. There's already fear around.
And it wasn't like that.
It wasn't like that. But they are not addressing the matter. You see a pothole. Somebody had an accident there. 20 persons died. You pass that road, you still see the pothole. Instead of the issue to be addressed immediately, they will leave you that thing, keep on taking lives. To tell you that the system, the government, is not too sensitive to the lives of the citizens. Because when the citizens' lives are precious, they are sacrosanct to the government. At least the death of one person is something else. Look at the lights. Do we have lights? It's part of insecurity. Look at our hospitals. Do we have good hospitals? It's part of insecurity. Look at our borders. Our borders are porous. Especially from the north, we have to be truthful. Look at the borders, very porous. People can come into Nigeria as if you are going to the market and you can leave Nigeria. The borders is very, very porous. Look at the entire system. In Benin, presently, when you go to the town, you see some strangers. I call them strangers. Nobody's asking, who are you, where are you from? They call them scavengers. They just enter to this country. entering our streets. Nobody's monitoring them. Nobody's asking them questions. These are not Nigerians.
And they even have identifiable.
These are not Nigerians, and they are not. They are in numbers. We think they are just looking for ions, looking for debris or whatever.
So
Check very well. Check very well. There's an agenda. One day, if these guys come and form a cluster, you see what will happen. So it's like, look at the way our people are living this country. Go to immigration. The way people are getting their passport. I went to immigration office that day. It was like a marketplace. Look at children. It's as if it was a Children's Day program. And what is happening? They are just trying to prepare their document for their children. Waiting for, in case something comes up, they find their way. You see the way Nigerians are living Nigeria. It's very pathetic. The other day, government came up to say, they try to advertise, talk about this Japan thing. There's no way you can stop them from going because the place is not okay for them. If Nigeria is okay for everybody, Nigeria is supposed to be a tourist center where other countries, other persons come to this place and see what God has blessed us with. But it's like a terrorist center. People are living. Who are we living in this place for? But when the thing is well fixed, things are going well. I don't think I will leave Nigeria. Even though I leave Nigeria, it's just a matter of going to visit and come back. But the reverse is the case. So government has much to do. Because when a man is living in his own house, it means his own house is not good.
Okay. Now,
and leaving the house for strangers to take over.
Okay. We are going to get back to you, Reverend Sharif. Now, to an extent, people believe that terrorists, they don't just operate like that without sponsors. And there was a time in this country that the federal government told us that we are going to be getting a list of those sponsoring these guys. But at the end of the day, this list never saw the light of the day. Now, do you think in a way, from the body language of the government, they are kind of shielding these guys that are sponsoring them?
Well, I don't know if it's the entire government that is shielding them, but I know that people at the echelon of government will definitely have a role in this. Why do I say this now? Several agencies, international agencies, have given us, say, listen, we have proof that people in government, top members of the societies, are responsible for sponsoring terrorism within your country. The other day, UAE last year gave us a list of, there's a United Arab Emirates. They gave a list of sponsors of terrorism in Nigeria. The list never saw daylight. Even when he leaked out, somehow people were able to finger some names that were on the list. Till today, most of those people are still roaming free in the country. Nothing was done. Now, imagine if my name or your name showed up on that list. No, it's true. Imagine if your name or my name showed up on that list.
The reverse may be the case.
The reverse would be the case. You know, within 2 hours, we will lose our freedom. Within 2 hours of that list showing up, we will lose our freedom. And before they even try you, you'll be locked up in a cell somewhere for months and months and months before you even face trial. You know, but these people are still roaming free in the society. Most of them still even get appointments from the government and all that. And so if this is happening, then that will tell you something is not right somewhere. It's either powerful people are helping powerful people sponsor terrorism, you know, or they are just complacent.
Okay.
They are just complacent to what is going on. They don't care. So it's either of the two. So which of them, I don't know, but for sure,
so
something is not
powerful
right.
people sponsoring powerful people too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, powerful people shielding powerful people who are sponsoring terrorism.
Okay.
That's what's going on. Because if you look at people who are kidnapped, for example, people who have met with these terrorists and not bandits and all of them, they'll tell you the people that kidnap them are rich people who cannot even afford a shirt. You know, so now, and the man is wielding an AK-49. He has a rocket launcher with him. Where did he get it from? How did he purchase it? How did he even get the connection? Because for you to be holding a rocket launcher, for example, or an AK-49, these are things you cannot find on the street. Even no matter how I search now, I cannot find one to buy. So how do these people get this equipment from? How do they get it? What is their source? Who finances it? You know, so something needs to be, this thing has to be looked at in a more comprehensive way. So yes, I would say yes. People who are saying they have state sponsors, I believe it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's not come to Reverend Sharif. There was a time the Britain and US came and said that their citizens should be careful. There are some parts of the country they shouldn't go to. And recently, our neighbors here, Ghana, came up and told their citizens that they should beware of Abuja, the state capital. Do you think our security architecture is being compromised? Because for other countries to be coming up to advise their citizens, while we that are here, we seem to just act as if everything is okay.
Security, when there is no sincerity, there will be calamity. And when the government is not sincere in handling security matter, there will always be anarchy. Because when you want to handle security issue, sincerity is one of the factors you must engage with. When US, UK, and other nations came up with this issue, I think what I expect the government to do is to complement that advice,
Rather than
put systems and structures on ground. You don't need to debunk it, because we who are here, we know what is happening. The reason why you see the US have to evacuate their citizens because of the value they have for lives. They have value for even one US citizen. They don't want to take chances. Debunking it as it hurt us, we're supposed to beef up security very well, not to debunk it. And it's that issue wouldn't go well with them.
Recently, Ghana is not saying the same thing.
Because they are seeing what they are seeing. They are seeing what it's like we are not seeing what they are seeing. These guys, they don't need to come to our streets to investigate what is happening. They are using technology to monitor the system, to know what is going on. Because if you don't use technology to handle security issue, you are using the manual or the conventional way, you won't do much. These guys are using technology to survey the land, to know what is going on, and they are telling you this is what is coming. It's now left for you to see what you can do to manage that information. But that information was not well managed.
Okay.
And we don't pray for what they have said to come to pass.
Okay.
We don't pray for that.
Okay, now let's now look at the traditional system, the roles of traditional rulers. What roles do they have to play here now, Osarana? Because to an extent, they have direct interface with the people, to an extent.
The best form of security is to secure your people from the bottom up. That's why I'm one of the advocates of state policing.
Okay.
I do strongly believe in state policing, because people, if you go to any village, for example, now, every member of the society knows who this person is, who that person is. They know those that go worship idols. They know those that go to church. They know those that go to mosque. They know those that don't believe in any religion, the atheists. They know the bad people in the society. They know those that dropped out of school. They will tell you that one he dropped out in SS1. They'll tell you that one only went to primary 6. They'll tell you, that one has a degree, or their family, they know book well, you know, hey. They know everybody.
So virtually they have information of everybody.
They have information of everybody. They have a database in their head of everybody.
In their head?
Yes, of everything that is going on.
Okay.
They will tell you in 1922, this was this man's father that stole chicken. And he was arrested and banished from the community. You understand? They have everything, they know. So in such a society, when a stranger comes in, they know easily that this person is not one of us. This person his way is not clear, our way is not clear. They understand what is going on. Now, extend that to every society. Whoever these people are, whoever, these wrong elements of the society that is constituting a nuisance to us all, they stay in a place. They live in different parts of this country, right? Wherever they reside in, the people within that locality know that this man doesn't have what he's doing. He's questionable, he's a questionable character. We should look at this person. And so now imagine you pick people. That's why I commend what that the government is doing in terms of security.
Okay.
You know, the setting up of things like operatives like Atalaba and the rest of these likes, you know, to combat internal threat within the state, vigilante network. You know, they are taking people from the localities, from the immediate society.
Okay.
That is how policing should be. You know, when you do it that way, you reduce the threat to a barest minimum. Because everybody knows everybody. Even your streets, you know those that are busy, those that are questionable.
The redundant.
There's the redundant people, you know them.
Okay.
Even if you know interacted with them, just by driving by your car every day, you know that I'm always seeing this guy in drinking parlor every day. 10 o'clock, you are passing by, he's drinking. 1 p.m., you say, okay, let me rush home and pick up something. He's there drinking. You know that something is not right.
Okay.
You know? But when you bring a man from, say, Abuja to come and be policing, a place like Orion local government, he does not understand the people. He does not understand what is going on and the terrain.
Okay.
So, like I say, policing is local, and it should remain local.
Okay. So let's come back now to Reverend Sheriff. Now, the roles of traditional rulers now. In a way, some of them are selling out because they just try to get money from these people who want to just settle down in their community, and at the end of the day, it kind of poses danger to the populace. What's your take, Reverend
I went to a community of recent, and then the women, they came to the traditional leaders' environment. They naked themselves and told the king.
In Nigeria?
Yes. They told the king, if you allow strangers to stay in our land, we will banish you. They told him, pump and play, categorically. If you allow these people, if you take money from them and allow them to settle here, we will on our own banish you. You see the extent people are going. Because sometimes you see these traditional leaders, some of them are playing anki-paki game, taking money from this, and bringing strangers to settle in a place which is not proper. And the traditional leaders should be able to, like what he said, security is a grassroots thing, and police is a local thing. Police should not be from the federal. This issue of state police, community police, even somebody say local government police, is very, very, I think we are overdue for it. I don't know what the government...
So you support state policing?
100%.
Like he said?
State police, community police, very, very important. Like what the governor of Edo State is doing, taking this thing to the grassroots, making a kind of identification, everybody should be identified. I think, again, orientation is very important. Education is very important. Sensitization is very important. Because when the people are not oriented on the nitty-gritty of security, at the end of the day, they will not even know what to do when there's a problem or there's a challenge, or how to combat all these things. The community leaders should be able to come up with a program for the people by orienting them, involve the security agencies, giving them orientation on security issues, the nitty-gritty. Because security is the basement for anything. Anything you are doing, when there's no security, nothing strives. So when there's orientation, there is education. Even the government should put security as a subject in the curriculum.
It will help.
It will go a long way. The child of 6 years knows much about security. That's what happens in other countries. Before you get to 18 years, you're already a police of yourself. You don't need the federal police to come and police you. The police in you is already out to know how to address issues. So these things are very, very important. If we're able to address security from the grassroots, we encourage security, we fund it to the grassroots. At the end of the day, it will go a long way. You are educated on security, I'm educated on security issue. There's no way I can easily become a victim.
To have a safe society.
Yes, very, very important.
Okay, now let's now try to take this discussion a little further as we begin to wrap up. Protection of VIPs. Now, to an extent, we've seen over time where security guards lost their life in a bid to safeguard their principal. And some people are thinking, or they are of the opinion that if you are a VIP, you make provision for your own security. You shouldn't be entitled to police or any security agency to guide you. Do you think that is a good one?
I do not think that's that's the right way to go about it.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't think. Because now, if you say I should make arrangement for my own security, the people we're going to meet on the highway, for example, if we're driving, doing traveling, right? These terrorists, these bandits, robbers, and all of them, they are wielding high-powered rifles, AK-47s, AK-49s, all kinds of guns. And these are the kind of arms and ammunition the government does not allow individuals to carry. Okay. So if I run into them, they will easily overpower my people. If we are carrying just the basic
private security outlet.
Private security outlet.
Okay.
What I think the way to do this or go about it is simple. Let the government or let the police, let there be a special police force that will be responsible for private security. Sorry, for guarding VIPs.
Okay.
Now, this special police force should have an enhanced welfare package, life insurance packages, comprehensive life insurance package, very well armed. And you're going to ask me, how do we provide for this? When you want security from the police, then you'll be made to pay for it.
Okay.
You understand? If it's costing 50,000 naira a day to have one policeman with you, you can make it 200,000 naira per day. So if you want 4 policemen, that's 800,000 naira. So that way, the funding for what I've just said now will be more than available. You have money to buy the best kind of weapons for them. You have money to give them the best comprehensive life insurance packages. You have money for welfare. So you find that when you have this, then you have a lot of. We are saying we don't have enough manpower. When I hear that, I keep saying this is ridiculous. Like, what are they saying? This is a country where it has 70% of people are either unemployed or underemployed.
So you can recruit them.
You can recruit people. You have over 100 million youths in this country. 80% of them have nothing doing. So which means you are talking of almost 80 million people redundant or underutilized. You can recruit people into the forces.
Okay.
The money to pay them will be made available by those who want private security, who want security.
Who want their services.
Who want their services. So have a special arm of police that this is all they do. And you train them accordingly on how to guard VIPs, VIP security. Train them on VIP security. It's as simple as that.
Okay, Reverend Sharif, do you share any thoughts?
Very well. Very well. I think for now, the police is underfunded.
Okay.
In terms of manpower, the population is low comparing, it cannot be commensurate with the present population of Nigeria. We are going to 250 million in population, and we don't have up to 500,000 police personnel. So if you take more from these numbers for VIP, how many police officers are there to guide the Nigerian population? So VIPs, they are demanding more police officers. If we have about 400,000 police officers, check very well. How many VIP do we have? Talk about the banks, talk about organizations that need all these things. You discover that
even individuals.
Even individuals. You discover that more than half of these police officers, they are on VIP special guard. So how many do we have to guide the people?
Mostly those in
that is why you see when you go to the
police
town,
force.
you don't even see the police officers as like before. You see everywhere, every junction, you see police men guiding because there's a direction. And for the police to be safe in the area of guiding, they have to be well equipped. They should be, like what he said, it should be special force for that. And if you are looking for VIP, you should be ready to pay. Because there are some people, based on what they are doing, maybe legal or illegal, they want police officers to come around to shield them. Because they are vulnerable everywhere, based on what they are doing. The police become the sacrificial lamb.
So in other words, you're saying the police now, they are human shields to some of these persons?
Yeah, human shields, which is supposed not to be so. Because when there's casualty, they are the one that will go. And if they are not well trained, they are not well equipped, And these things are, the system and structures are not there. We'll keep on having casualties.
Now, Osareme, you talked about funding them and training them. But recently, we had attacks on the likes of Ifeanyi Uba, a renowned clergy in Benin, talking about Apostle John Suleiman. Even an assistant inspector general of police was attacked. And the people who actually bear the brunt of the attack were the guards, the personnel who were attached to him. Now, as in a way, to an extent, some of these VIPs, they found themselves in protected vehicles while these policemen are exposed. Now, if they are trained, they are well equipped, and they are not really safe on the journey, do you think they can still walk to an extent?
They can still walk to an extent. Don't be surprised that those that attacked, these convoys that were attacked, many of the policemen may not have been to be well.
So even when the VIP is in a bulletproof car?
Yeah, but see, that can be incorporated into the whole thing.
Okay.
You can say, for example, it's the kind of vehicle that the VIP is in, right? The policeman can be in
the
that.
escort too
should be in that kind of vehicle.
Okay.
If it's an armored car, then they should also be in an armored car, So, but I understand that most VIPs around the world, are protected by armed men, by whether private or whether private organized police force or state police force.
Okay.
It's obtainable everywhere in the world you go to.
Okay.
So it is left for whatever arrangements, whether private or state, to train and arm their people that they are sending out very well.
Okay.
To be able to match the kind of force that they may encounter, in the line of duty. The army, for example, we can equip the police with good bulletproof vests, good helmets, that can withstand modern rifles, modern firearms. So it's not just a case of armored vehicles. These are very expensive vehicles. The kind of one the Apostle Suleiman was in, you're talking about at least 300 million naira. You might be able to afford one. How many people can even afford one of that?
Okay.
I cannot. So the thing is, you may be able to afford one, but you cannot afford two or three.
Okay.
For your security personnel. So, but you can afford bulletproof vests. You can afford the helmets. So people should be well trained. Training will mitigate a lot of these things and armed accordingly.
All right, let's quickly come to Reverend Sharif as we begin to wrap up now. Now, the Nigerian Police Force actually came out recently and said that if you must be in a bulletproof car, your escorts too should be in such car. If not, you don't have need for protection. Is it a welcome development?
To an extent, not everybody can provide that.
Okay.
I think that one is stringent, really. Because if you can't provide bulletproof vehicles for your escorts, that does not make you deprive you from getting escort from the police.
Really?
Yes, because like what he said, even they can go extent. If you can't get the bulletproof, you can get the armored vest and with the armored helmet to an extent, because we see a lot of police officers putting on these vests, but they are not armored. Bullet can still penetrate. How much will it take to get this? And even as VIPs, sometimes if you have the money, you can't get the armored car. To an extent, you can assist the police to equip the ones that they are sending to you. Okay. It will go a long way.
All right, thank you so much, gentlemen, for finding time. Reverend Sharif Azeke and Osareme Christian for finding time to be on the show. We'll quickly take a short pause and we'll make way for a second talking point on the show. Don't go away.